Everyone, I'll introduce our guests as they come in. On the far right, you see Teo Al King of the China Horse Club. And, of course, winning jockey Mike Smith. From Windstar Farm, we have Kenny Trout, as well as Elliot Walden.
Who's going to sit there? Let Bob. Bob Baffert. Oh, man.
Sorry, I hadn't seen the replay.
It was stressful.
That's all right. Take it in. We're going to give it a few minutes and see if some of the other owners might be close behind, as well as Mr. Baffert.
Okay.
Great job, Mike.
All right. While we wait for everyone else, let's go ahead and get started. Congratulations to all of you, the 13th Triple Crown winner, Justify. Mike Smith, of course, would love to start with you. If you could take us through the race, and if you don't mind, maybe start from when you came out to the paddock and include the warm-up as well. But take us through the whole thing, if you would.
I mean, the whole time he was just so professional. I mean, he really was. He was taking, the crowd in well. All the noise in the gate, I was, worried because, the crowd was screaming right in front of you there. And being in the one hole, he was standing so good, almost too good. I was a bit worried, but my gate man reassured me, said, we're okay, he's standing good, trust me, he'll break. And he probably broke better today than he has, out of the other two, to be honest with you. He left there today very, very good, which was very important. Was able to go ahead and get a comfortable lead and just let him get into that rhythm of his, which he did very well. The first quarter was just a little bit quick, but then after that, I mean, he settled down and he got into a great rhythm, and I just kept a leg on each side at that point, and mine in the middle, and when I asked him, I mean, he dug in, to win 6 races in such a short amount of time like he's just done is just an unbelievable feat on his part, and really Bob's just done a tremendous job to get this horse to do what we just got done doing, so. Extremely excited, very, very blessed, and I can't tell you, this is just amazing.
Were you surprised not to see anybody challenging you early on?
I knew that if he jumped well, that he's just faster than they are. I knew they were going to send the outside horse, Ripoli's other horse. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Windstar's other horse.
Windstar's other horse. Yeah. I knew they were going to go with a couple of my. I honestly, I really thought that if someone's going to hook me, I thought it'd be Wayne's horse, Ravazzo. I knew they were going to be sneaky, aggressive. I just had that feeling, and we outjumped them. Yeah, hard to get through.
Come on, Hollywood.
Hung up on the gun there.
That ruined a bad day.
That would ruin a bad day.
And now in the middle, of course, winning trainer Bob Baffert, his second Triple Crown. Yeah, let's give him a round of applause.
Way to go, Bob.
Mike, we'll come back to you for a little more of the play-by-play, but Bob, if we could just get your initial reaction to the race today.
All week, since the Preakness, we felt really good about this horse, and he shipped in here really well. When I saw him train the first day here, he was just he went around there like, they're supposed to go around there, and he's tipped us off from his first race, but you still have to get around there, and I knew, the pace he was going to have to ask him hard away from there and get him in there and get him going in the race. So going into the first turn, we saw those horses out there, and I saw the 23. Was it 23 and
23 and 3?
Yeah, so that was a little bit. Well, that's fast, and so. But then he slowed it down. When I saw 48, felt a little bit better. But I was talking to Jill, my wife, the whole way, and if we can get about a 13-3, 13-4, I think we're okay. And then he got 13. Was it 1? I thought, well, if he's great, it's doable. And then when he made that move in the far turn, I was like, oh, Mike, don't empty that tank, Mike. And so, turning for home, you could just tell this horse, he just finds the great ones. They just find another gear, and I really didn't get excited probably to the last 116th of a mile where I knew that he was home free and started to really enjoy the race. And but I'm just so happy for Windstar, China Horse Club, all these guys. They sent me this horse, Elliot Walden, and plus I got my team that I have back at Santa Anita, just unbelievable team. Los Alamitos and Drayden Van Dyke, who worked this horse for me, and Martin Garcia, who flew in twice to work this horse for me, really, gave up a lot. So I just have a great team around me, and Jimmy Barnes, he's been through it all, and to me, Abel Tasman and Opportunity, when they set the stage early, I thought, wow, I think this is going to be good. I said, I was going to bring 4, but I just didn't want to buck those odds of like last year, But I said, man, I don't know. Three's a good number, but they all ran well, and that's all you can ask for is that your horses are doing well, but they still have to show up. And so it was a great day. It went smooth. We got up here, everything went so smooth, and everybody was having a good time. And my wife Jill got to meet Jimmy Fallon, who she loved so much, and we just, it was exciting. I just, I felt it was really, it was just positive. Ever since the day we got here, everything was real positive.
Mike, to come back to you, 53 years old, can you talk about getting to 52? Sorry. Can you talk about getting to parade a Triple Crown winner finally, and what that felt like and meant to you?
I was saying earlier on up on stage, we were accepting the trophy, that Bob's helped me achieve so many of my goals, but today, man, he made my dream come true. So it was just him and his crew and everyone who works with him. And he talks about how brilliant his crew is, and then he just puts an old man up there to sit still. He stays out of the way and let a good horse be a good horse. That's what I do with him. At different times he wants to move at different places, what Bob was talking about. But it's coming to him so easy, and sometimes I was learned early on. Don't take away nothing that comes too easy. And then he gets into that rhythm. Then he takes a breather. Then he goes again. He just kept going. Every time I would squeeze on him a little, he just kept going. So I was confident he was going to run through the wire pretty strong.
We'll open it up in a second, but first I'd like to hear from the various owners. Elliot, if you could start it off, and then we'll go down the line. If you could just give us your impressions of today and what you're feeling right now.
Well, grateful to have a horse like this, to have the opportunity to be here. To make history like this is an incredible feeling. And these horses just, you buy them or whatever. A horse like this just kind of happens, and Bob's done a marvelous job with him. Mike's done a marvelous job with him, but we have to have the horse, and Bob made me feel pretty good leaving the paddock. I said, "What'd you tell Mike?" He said, "I told him the gas tank's full. Don't use it all at once." So, but just real blessed, because you can't find these horses; they find you.
Kenny, what are you feeling right now?
What?
What are you feeling right now?
What am I thinking right now?
Feeling, yeah.
How hot I am right now. I'm sweating. But, it was such a blessing. And just thinking about winning the Triple Crown and it was just unbelievable. And then seeing him down that stretch, I mean, I was yelling and screaming. I went crazy down that stretch. So, it was a great blessing.
And Teo, the founder of the China Horse Club, if you could just give us some thoughts on what you felt today and what you thought of the race.
Well, thank you. And I think I'll just keep it short and just be very thankful that, as I said in Preakness, the Lord opened the doors and opened. We are thankful for everybody here and the media and all our friends and especially our partners that we have. We treasure them. As you know, there are about 20 of our members here watching, probably at the corridor, and they are in cloud 9, and so am I. And you know, we all heard that triple crown is not that easy to achieve. And in our short 3 years in America with great partners and great media supporting and reporting, and we are definitely very indebted to everybody here. And we are thankful. Even I'm going to just give 4 more minutes for Michael Wallace, who together with Tom and Elliot identified this horse in Keeneland. And definitely, I think this efforts has reinforced our belief that America is a great place to do great racing. And today is the fruit of that belief. And I'm thankful for everyone. Thank you.
Very good. And Michael, quickly, just some quick thoughts before we open it up. What are you feeling today?
Yeah, no, it's sort of surreal, basically. You look back on history, and you know, we obviously haven't been participating here long, but to achieve something like this in such a short period, you know, is phenomenal, and it's been a team effort from a lot of people to get to this point, and you know, a lot of luck. So I sort of came here today thinking that we've sort of won anyway. What would be, and you know, if it was meant to happen, it was meant to happen, and if it didn't, well, we've still got a great horse and we've had a great run. But this is icing on the cake. This is, you know, something everybody will remember forever.
If you have a question, please make sure you use the microphone so the folks up in the press box are able to hear it. We'll start with Tim Woken.
Well, this is for Bob. Bob, you made history today winning your second Triple Crown. Has that hit you? And if so, what are you feeling winning 2 Triple Crowns in the span of 3 years?
I really didn't think about that. I'm just so, it's a privilege to have a horse like this. I mean, we're like the coach, but they're the athletes and the jockeys get it done. But to me, you know, when you win the Derby 5 times, I really felt like, wow, I won the Derby. But this is more, to me, I wanted to see that horse, his name up there with those greats, because, you know, I always, you know, if they're great, they're going to win the Triple Crown. It takes a great horse to win the Triple Crown. And to me, I've been through it. It's, you know, there was no excuses. He had to, you know, if he was great, he's going to do it, and that's what it's about. That's why it's so difficult. And even though he had all these races, he's actually just starting to, you know, to me, he's really doing well. And I was worried about the track because it was so deep. It was getting really deep today. It looked like a tiring track. So, but, you know, the Triple Crown winners, all I can say, they're great.
I saw a couple of spectators weeping in the stands, and I was surprised. And I'm wondering if any of you, for the general public, can you articulate any of the emotions that they may be feeling?
Well, I was weeping when they interviewed me. I got very emotional because I really think I'm getting help upstairs. You know, I think of my parents. I think of all the friends, good friends I lost, and I know they're up there. You know, I really believe in that they're helping me out. They're giving me that little push that Lafitte Pinkai used to talk about. And I think, you know, things happen for a reason. If it was meant to be, it was meant to be. I knew this horse was doing well. I can't, you know, we had him ready, but that horse, he's just to train a horse like that. He's just a magnificent animal. And so I'm just glad that I got a chance to train a horse like that.
This question's for Elliot. This is Darren Ravel from ESPN. Can you comment at all about breeding rights and bonuses based on this?
No.
Okay.
No. Thank you.
Elliot, it's you hadn't had horses with Bob before. I know you kind of sidestepped the question at the Derby a little bit, but what was it that made you say this horse is for Bob?
Well, you know, any horses for Bob, really. And I don't mean that. I'm not trying to duck the question. I get asked a lot how we move our horses around and why we give horses to certain trainers. And I mean, a lot of it's just a kind of a gut feel about each horse. as far as this horse goes, one of the things that I thought was important was we were behind the 8 ball. We do focus on, the 3-year-old classics. Not that every horse we have is going to run there, but you certainly want to try to give them an opportunity. The weather in California is very consistent. He was going into training late. I thought that was something that was a consideration. And again, he looked like a very good horse, and we tried to hire a very good trainer. Maybe the greatest of all time.
Pat. For Bob, obviously the race, I'm sure, unfolded largely the way you wanted it. Was there any use of Restoring Hope as almost kind of a wingman coming out of there, or what? How did you want to use him?
No, Restoring Hope, he has natural speed, and his only chance was to be up near the lead in the first wave, because he's like a one-dimensional horse, and so. But he was getting a little ranked. I think they were going pretty fast, but he's not a horse to come off the take back, and all his races were decent where he had to be up close. So we're just giving him a chance.
Tim?
Hey, Mike, you said that you thought he broke pretty alertly. On the head-on, it looked like he went almost straight left. Was that an illusion that we're seeing, or did he actually go left out of the gate?
He did just a little bit. The gates were kind of set up off away from the fence a little bit. He jumped to the left, but he jumped very fast to the left. He was about a neck to a head in front the first couple of jumps, and so I was really happy with the way he got away from there.
Ron Flatter.
Mike and Bob, I don't know how much you've been able to see the replay or just even live. Which horse or horses would have been the biggest threat to him as the race unfolded?
I knew Restoring Hope was to my outside there for a little bit, and then someone else came at me, and I wasn't sure who it was, but I was just trying to do things that were coming easy to him. A lot of times in these big turns, you can do some things. I went ahead and let him move a little just to open up so that everyone would move as well and chase me. Then by the time they get to me, I've been able to give him a breather. Then I'd move again, and he'd move again. I mean, he's such a good horse at that. I mean, he listens to you. So you can do things like that. Some horses just stay on, or some just completely stay off. But he just listens to everything I say. Every time I want him to take a breather, I just put my hands back down, and he'd settle right back down. And then if I squeeze him a little, he'll jump right back again. And we just kind of kept doing that around the last turn. And then heading for home, I just wanted to wait as long as I could before I really got really put the pedal to the metal. And man, he dug back in, and I felt, well, at that point that he would hold anybody off that was coming.
We've got Frank Angst. I don't think the mic is going to reach back. Oh, sorry.
Oh. No, I was watching Hofberg, Bravazzo. I thought he'd be tough because Wayne Lucas, you never know when he's going to just pull it out, and it was just they were all grouped there. But to me, it's the pace. I was just watching the clock. I just watched the clock the whole way around there because I knew the clock was going to be my friend or my enemy, and he kept it. He kept it. It was quick early, slowed it down a little bit. But when he turned for home, though, I talked to Mike the other night, and I said, I just hope when you turn for home, you're just sitting on him. Not if you're hitting him at the top of the stretch. I know we're in deep water, and that means
I swear I thought of that too. I did. I said, Bob's telling me right now, don't go to that whip yet. Just keep hand riding. I know what he's saying, and then he's telling me, now, would you just do it now? So
but as soon as I was watching him, but then as soon as when he switched leads, and you could tell that the horse was starting to. But I mean, this horse, he looked in the paddock. He walked up there to the paddock like he just like been there. I didn't even school him. I mean. Jimmy asked me, want to school him? I said, I don't want to school him. He's just so smart, And so he went up there, stood there like he'd been there, and he looked behind the gate, getting ready to go. He was wanting to get it on. It took forever, it seems, to get him in the gate. But he is just one of the all-time great horses, and I'm just I'm just thankful that we were able to pull it off. You know, it was something, but it was fun. I think we enjoyed it probably. This last week is probably like Jimmy and I were talking. So, you know what? We're finally enjoying this one a little bit. You know, when we got here, it was really. But I'll never forget. I've never had a horse when I unloaded him the other day. When those horses in that barn went nuts when they saw him, I've never seen anything like that. They just knew his presence. There's something about him that, you know, I knew if a horse ran with him. He's just, they're not gonna keep. I hated to see Restoring Hope that close to him because I knew it was, it was going to be tough on him. But here we are, and thank you, Kenny Trout, and your team. You got a great team.
Thank you.
And by the way, they found this horse. He didn't find them.
The question is a comparison between American Pharoah and Justify.
Yeah, it was like, American Pharoah was, I've had some really great horses. We had, Point Given. I really thought, he could have easily been here. Horses like that they were, the durability, that's the thing. And that's one thing this horse has, American Pharoah, is not only are they brilliant, they're fast, but they're durable. And they have to be taking it. And, I mean, this horse was like, you could tell he's getting better, but they're two different types. It's like comparing your kids, which one is faster. But, Pharoah was my first Triple Crown winner. It was like, I've been going through it. I would have won it before, but my buddy Elliot here cost me one of them. And so I remember they had me in here like somebody had died. And they held the winners out there so they could talk to me like, we got beat, Victory Gallop, he beat us, that's it, but it's one of those things where I don't have to really compare them because if they make this wall, that's all you need to say.
That's right.
Mike and Elliot, a moment ago, Bob said that Justify is now one of the all-time greats, and I'd just like to get your reaction to that and how you feel he stacks up against the greatest American thoroughbreds based on what he's done this year. Mike?
Are you asking me? Sure. I think he's the greatest of all time. I just won the Triple Crown, man. he's my champion.
Elliot, thoughts on that?
Yeah, just Bob and I kind of joked about '98 when after the fact, and I've said it that Real Quiet didn't belong but not because he wasn't a really good horse, but he just wasn't a Triple Crown winner because Victory Gallop beat him. And Victory Gallop was a good horse. A lot of good horses we've been blessed with, but to be great, to be a Triple Crown winner, it takes something special. I mean, it's like I was looking at Justify's PPs the other day. I was looking at a speed cheat. And man, those races were close together, And I'm like, whew, I hope it doesn't get to him, And 6 races since February. I don't know what's going to happen when he gets a little break here and we come back in the late summer.
All right, we got more questions?
This is for Mike. Mike, can you compare his stamina level of today compared to the Preakness?
Yeah, it was great. It was really good.
Were you talking about the Preakness? It wasn't as close as you made it.
I probably it was a bit my fault, that it was as close as it was. When it was me and Good Magic just kind of going at each other, and he was carrying me out, and once I felt I had him, I started thinking about this a little bit, not wanting to do too much. So I mean, I could have come off the turn really riding him and made that race look a whole lot better than what it probably did. By no means did I think Bravazzo was going to literally come out of the clouds like he did. I thought I'd put everybody away, and I picked it on my arm, and you couldn't see a whole lot, but I thought I had him there. The wire was close enough that we were okay. You guys couldn't see when we ran back into the fog when Bravazzo got next to him and someone tried to high-five me. I mean, he took off again. I mean, he wasn't about to let someone pass him. So I knew we were all right, and I cut it just a little bit too close, but it worked out.
Bob, about an hour after this race, how are the thoughts, emotions, feelings you're going through different than it was 3 years ago?
Well, I mean, it was different 3 years ago because it was something that it looked like it just wasn't going to happen. 37 years, and you come up here, and I'd been through it, and I just felt more pressure because I felt, look at the Lord has given me another crack at it, and I got this great horse, everything's running smooth, but he still has to do it. And then when he did it, I was like everybody else. I was just like in awe of it. It was like, I don't think I never even cheered for the horse. I mean, I was just, I was in sort of shock, seeing him do it, and we did it. So it was different. So when we came with this horse, when he won his second out, I was like thinking, I think this is a Derby horse. It could be a Triple Crown horse. Maybe I'll get another shot. But I mean, he just showed us that raw talent was there when he broke his maiden before he ran, and then his second out, Mike rode him, and then the Santa Anita Derby, and he just. I mean, it's just, I'm telling you, the raw talent is there, and he's doing it, like he's a walk-on, he just came on there and he broke every curse there was, whatever but it was meant to be. I meant to get this horse. They were meant to buy him. Everything to me is meant to be.
Elliot, you did mention there the possibility of more of a campaign after a break. Can you just address that?
Well, just looking forward to, we're going to enjoy today and not really think about it. But he's done a lot in a short period of time, so it's going to be up to Bob what happens now. But looking forward to, can't wait to get him back out there. But we're going to do right by him, and I'm sure Bob knows how to get him ready, and we'll wait on that. So.
Mike, after the Preakness, you said earlier in your career maybe you weren't ready for this. Now at 52 to win a Triple Crown, it's a pretty small group of jockeys. Jean Cruguet was in here just a second ago. What does that mean to you to be in that select group, Triple Crown winners? And now at your age, why did you say that you weren't ready earlier?
There's a lot of pressure. I don't know if you know that or not, but it's a little hectic. I mean, I certainly ridden some good horses that I thought could maybe have won the Derby. They didn't win the Derby. Maybe one won the Preakness, and then I've been blessed to win the Belmont a few times. But God gives you things when you're ready to handle them, and I think it took this long, but I was ready because I'm telling you, I felt good all day long. I honestly did. I even took a nap. So, I really did. I felt great, and that probably wouldn't have happened, 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I'd have been probably running through a wall or something. But anyway, just experience-wise, knowing what I got underneath me and knowing how Bob's trained him, just all little things that you learn through time, and might not have been ready back then. Evidently, I wasn't. I haven't even been close.
Abby Sun, Voice of America. A question towards Elliot and then Mr. Teal, Michael Wallace, and horse owners. So I think this is the first time that any Chinese money or Chinese organization involved in the American big horse industry and winning big. I guess my question would address to the Chinese market because the government is trying to open up the market in Hainan to expand whether into entertainment or tourism, and horse racing is one of them. I guess if you don't mind, maybe talk more on are there going to be more collaboration towards Chinese market down the road, and what this winning means for Chinese as a premature market international position.
Well, we are very blessed to have China Horse Club as a partner and it's happened in a very short amount of time. I think Michael Wallace and Tio deserve. I mean, it's phenomenal to win a Kentucky Oaks with Abel Tasman in the second year of operation and to win a Triple Crown in their third year. It's amazing. And I asked Tio, kind of joked with him after the Preakness, and I said, "Are you sure you want to change these silks for the Triple Crown?" I said, "Now listen, that's a lot of pressure." Tio said, "I can handle the pressure," and so he dreams big, and we dream big, and so it's a great partnership. So whatever comes out of that, from any kind of opportunities, we're all for. But I know that Tio is a visionary. And the world's open to it. It's great that this horse is ran in China Horse Club Silks today, because I think it's a great opportunity for the world to see, for China to see what can happen in America.
By the way, nobody's asked me about opportunity. What's the question again? With Chinese, I'm going to hire Teo as my agent in China, and we're going to do commercials or something.
Wherever they go, I go with them.
Bob just needs to make sure he has the silks right.
Yeah, I got them right.
Elliot and Kenny, who named this horse and why? How did he get his name?
Amy Nave helps me with names, and we do. She does a remarkable job because we have 30 to name each year, and we look for strong names that could be stallion kind of names. And you know, we've had Commissioner, Creator, Constitution, strong names, and. So Justify, we also have had Good Samaritan, and a lot of times we use biblical names. And Justify is a term in Romans 9 and 10, talks about being justified by faith. And it was a name that was available, and we looked for that as a great opportunity. So blessed that this horse has a great name.
I wanted to try to ask one more time about why the general public should care about this. He was Justify was cast as an underdog. Do you think that resonates with the general public?
What was the question? Run that one more time.
I'm trying to figure out why the general public should care about a horse like Justify. He was cast as an underdog, and I'm wondering if that at all resonated with the general public.
Not sure he was an underdog. I mean, he was a 3-5 favorite. He was undefeated, and was just a remarkable horse from the start. So.
I think with the public is that they fell in love. He is one of the most beautiful horses you'll ever. I mean, he is a beautiful horse. Big chestnut. I mean, every trainer we're trying to get. Big Red Secretariat. I mean, he set the bar years ago, and we're just trying to get there. And I think people love these horses. They enjoy running. They love competing, and it's just natural. But I think everybody wants to see this happen because he's a beautiful horse, and it's like pass me to win. I mean, he's just so tough and he's just an imposing horse.
Last call for questions from the room. What time at the barn tomorrow?
I'll be there at 4:30. I'm not going to sleep. No, we'll be there. We're supposed to fly out tomorrow, but I don't know. But I might have to. Bodie might have to skip another day there. So no, we'll be there early. You know, at least 7:30. You know, whatever.
Very good, gentlemen. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On a 13th Triple Crown winner, Justify. Thanks, everybody.